Hold on. You said we're going live?
Yeah.
When? Now?
Yeah.
Hi, we're live. I see it up here.
Yeah, and I'll just send you the link to that afterwards, so you can look at it.
Yep. All right. Ready when you are. Now, do you apply to StreamYard?
Do I what?
Do I have to get StreamYard, or is it something you already have?
I used to do when I did my shows for COVID, so I'm pretty familiar with it, and it's like I said, it's pretty useful.
Okay.
And,
no, I'm asking, do you need
use,
me to pay for it, or is this something you have as an ongoing subscription?
No, I don't have the subscription anymore. So, like I said, we only need it for do all the videos that we need. So just the one-time payment.
Okay. All right. So what do we have to do? You want to ask me some questions?
We're already recording live. I checked it. Huh?
I said, do we want to do like a mock here?
Sure.
If you need a couple minutes to get set up, because I have no idea what this entails, just let me know. I'm gonna have a beer.
Right, so yeah, what we do is we'll probably get this view right here, and that way we create an overlay that has our banner, logo, everything on it, and then it'll be us. This stuff, the banners we can take off, but whatever it is that we're talking about, we can have a banner up to say, okay, we're talking about mutual funds or whatever the topic may be.
Yeah. So the topics tomorrow, just so you do you want to know those? Like sort of what I asked in the cover is essentially I want to be at my goal is to be able to share verbally that the Bridge Advisory Group above and beyond, why they're in existence, how they came to be, what the purpose is of them, and what we're trying to help people accomplish. To talk about, it's about advice, not about product, and it's about empowerment. It's about education around awareness education. You don't know how to solve something if you don't know that there's an issue to begin with or an opportunity to address. So it's like a lot more about the philosophical side and not super technical. At the back end of the interview, I'm going to guess he's going to say, I understand how you go about doing it in your process, but what do you actually implement in deliverables with clients? And that will be where I talk about investments, tax planning strategies, risk management, and that other stuff. So I don't know. What do you think about that approach? Do you have any thoughts there?
No, I think that pretty much covers everything. Oops, hold on. Your feature there didn't need to. So are we going to do both the Bridge Advisory and the sports, or just?
It's going to start with the Bridge Advisory Group. Okay. And then I'm going to reference Above and Beyond Sports. As part of the Bridge Advisory Group, we also, Above and Beyond Sports is tailored to the needs of, the needs of athletes or others that have a similar lifestyle in terms of, a lot of travel, busy schedule, many time constraints. We are geared to their specific issues, as well as the fact that they likely earn money in a condensed period of time that's significant, and how do we stretch that out? So it's just basically, it's the same philosophy, the same exact company. It's just our audience is a lot different. So in the Bridge Advisory Group, there may well end up being a part of the website that drives you to sports and entertainment. And then we tag it Above and Beyond Sports, and we have that separate website for that. But the more I think about it, I don't think there's the Above and Beyond Sports group within the Bridge Advisor group probably would be ideal because it's one portal. What do you think? But you want your own branding, I guess, different because the audience is different.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, are we looking at a more educated audience base that's coming from wealth management versus I just got a bunch of money, what do I do?
I don't think it's a totally different audience, and there's a different level of existing sophistication. But my hope is at the end of the day is you have people that usually deal in that realm, wealth management. I have to learn that. If I went left, it went right on my screen. But just keep it in front of my face. But there's a different degree of sophistication as it exists. My goal is to close the gap because that's the exact issue, is athletes and people without the existing education on these topics, and they're young, they've never dealt with them. Most of the people that are in the wealth management world as clients, they operate up here because of their life experiences.
Correct.
So there's this huge gap, and somehow because they're on TV and they're famous to a degree or in the public eye at 20 few years old, they're expected to handle their money like someone who's a 65-year-old retiree and sold his 3 businesses.
Exactly.
And that's a chasm that people need to be educated on to change what they look like. So I think there's we should be putting this out. But I think there's 2 aspects to it. Is you can't exactly put this on screen. Okay. But this is the beauty of it.
We can use the audio.
Hold on. Let me see here.
Well, that might work for Above and Beyond Sports, but the other one
makes my head look rounder. But no, in all seriousness, is probably when we have our conversations, if we did on it, we should just record them. I'm wondering if that helps because then you can say, oh, you said that during this. This might be a good snippet to integrate somewhere someday. Does that any logic to that?
Yeah, the good thing with the StreamYard, we can split the streams too. We can do it with Zoom, but I just like the layout and how the end product looks better with StreamYard.
Okay.
But we can,
you and I can start using StreamYard when we're having discussions. And if you like, as we're just talking, if you catch something or I say something, you're like, maybe that's like I just said, like this would have been good to have on video if I didn't look like this, is be prepared so we can catch a moment if it exists.
Correct.
So, but no, going back to the question about the variance, the goal, the one approach is to close the variance through awareness education as empowerment, advocate for, with, and then helping them and guiding them to grow into advocating for self. And that's one way where you're moving the needle this way. Then out there in the world, this is really weird. I'm going to hit because I'm going, this is weird. Never been on TV before, obviously. But closing that gap is one thing. But the reality is the perception that's on the outside of this gap, that needs to close too. And this is going to take a long time. So educating the players is one thing, but also getting the perception to say like, yeah, the gap is really closing. And it starts with them taking responsibility of learning and educating. I don't know. So that's the 2 goals and the 2 parameters, their education and closing the gap, and then being able to share what they're doing to achieve that goal, to start creating public perception that's different. So that might be something like to tweet out as, hey, we held a class today, or getting them to tweet it out to start changing that perception. Because when they go off the field, perhaps their awareness that they need to do these things and grow, when they get off the field, it's functionally going to help them. But when you're someone in that life taking a leadership role and doing it first, or being an earlier adapter and not be late to the game, you're going to be attractive to people who want to hire you because you show initiative and a mindfulness of change. There aren't boundaries in your mind.
Right.
It must be hard for you to look at me because right now it's hard to look at myself.
Nah, you're fine. But So do you think we can bring on people who have done it that even we didn't work with? Say, hey, you know what? Because I'm thinking like you look at LeBron and what he's done with his team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm having the school thing. I'm doing these types of contributions.
Yeah,
and
I could do interviews if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I could actually probably do good interviews.
Yeah.
But I may be a moderator and do Brian do the interview or let them talk and then be like sort of like a color guy to make sure that it's framing in a way to make the player or the former player look good. So like, for example, the guy I was there to see, he's 35, played internationally basketball, Tashid Carr, and he's doing something, what's it called? Born Leader Family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Born Leader. And that's his moniker and his company name. He's in North Philly and West Philly, helping these kids get off the street to provide them structure. Wow. So, I rolled up in North Philly, which is probably not where I best belong. Given
I've been there. That's scary.
Yeah, I got mugged there before when I was at Temple. I don't know why I chose Temple. My parents and I were so naive. But and then I show up, my roommate from New Haven, Frankie, black dude. He's like, yo, man, you don't want to wear that shirt, man. Not in the city. It was a Perry Ellis blue plaid shirt, like blood. He's like, that's like Crips. I don't want to be doing that.
Perry Ellis is Crips?
Like Crips. You mean cryptic? No, Crips as in you're going to get shot.
Right.
So you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
And that sort of parallels what we want to do for these young people is like through life, we don't know what we don't know ever. And that's why exploring what you're passionate about and what you want to learn about makes you more and more aware so you can participate safely in the world. So I'm sounding like a philosopher or something.
Yeah, sounds good though. I'm buying it.
Like, well, no, it's true. This is how I talk.
Right.
Shit comes out of my mouth. I'm like, where'd that come from? I'm seriously like, I always tell Brian, like, I don't think I've ever said that before. Where'd this come from? So, how do I get rid of the double chin besides stop eating and exercise? Can I tie that back?
There you go. Your daughter will help you out. Take makeup tricks.
Yeah. But okay. So keep going. What else do we need?
No, that's pretty good. We have a we got 12 minutes so we can look at.
Okay.
So let me just
I'll try to stay off my beard tomorrow. I do this all the time. It's a nervous tick. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm nervous about this, but it keeps my anxiety down.
Gotcha.
So you're gonna have to like yell at me. You'll be texting me, "Stop with the beard." I'll probably just make a joke out of it.
Look, sit on your hands. We can't see.
Yeah.
All right. So